you lost another one.
Good evening, and welcome to this week's episode of Childhood Rewind. And Monty has joined us back from the brink of death. He is recovered from COVID. We told him to stop going out licking windows, and he chose not to listen to us. So here we are.
Are you sure he's there? He's a little shaded out there. I can barely see it.
Am I?
He still got that COVID glow. He's still in the dark place. Well, we know he ain't afraid of the dark.
Oh no, I am.
Well, then
You
turn on some
always
light,
in
baby.
the dark.
Turn on some light, baby, because it's looking a little
Turn
dark
on
over
the
there.
light.
Is it dark? Is it dark for real? Hold on.
Yep.
See if I can get some more light in here.
All right, guys, we are.
Okay, well, while he does that, let's get into our first recap of Tale of Apartment 214. Let's get it.
Apartment 214. Stacy Cooper was going through a rough time. It looked like her parents were going to break up. She and her mom had to move into a tiny apartment across town.
This child here.
Mom, you scared me.
What are you doing out here?
I thought I heard something.
I don't want
So you went to
wandering
go
around
look?
that night. Come on back inside.
I wasn't doing anything wrong.
Well, I asked you not to do that.
Yeah, sometime? Maybe. Well, I'll see you later then? Yeah.
How come you're so late?
The bus broke down.
It's about time you came to see me. That's my nephew Frank and his family. I never had children of my own. Frank promised that I could always live with them, but when his family grew, he got tired of taking care of an old woman, so he asked me to leave.
As the days went by, Stacy and Madeline spent a ton of time together. Stacy helped Madeline with some of the tougher chores around the apartment. And Madeline told Stacy really cool stories about her life. It was perfect. Madeline wasn't lonely anymore, and Stacy found her first new friend.
Terribly if I asked you to drop by tomorrow.
No? What's up?
Nothing. It's just a day on which I prefer not to be alone.
No sweat. I'll be there.
Promise?
Promise.
Wonderful.
Free ticket. You coming or not? Okay. Let me tell Mom.
What are you doing in here?
14 move out.
What lady? Is no one living there.
Madeline, what happened to you? Oh, I was so scared when you were...
Promise to visit me. I didn't want to be alone on that day. My day for me, Stacy. And do you know why? It was my anniversary 10 years ago. On that day is the day I died.
I just wanted to make a new friend.
And did you make a new friend, Stacy? It's very important to make friends, Stacy. You shouldn't have to be alone. Go. Nobody wants me. I'm not welcome anywhere. I don't want to leave.
Ah, how you like new apartment?
It's great. We have so much room. I still don't understand why it's cheaper than 213.
You get a discount. Living with ghosts.
A few things. Now, one thing I didn't catch until I went back to edit. They were in a one-bedroom apartment. I didn't catch that the first time that they were in a one-bedroom apartment. I just thought mom just fell asleep on the couch. Um, but why did this ghostly little old lady have this poor child buying her groceries? She can't eat. But y'all thoughts on this episode? She bringing her flowers like they dating and everything. And
Right.
she coming in like the ultimate bad breakup. You ain't
I
never
don't
gonna.
Well, also, they were drinking tea. I don't know if y'all noticed that.
Yeah, I did. Because her little outfit matched the tea set. And I'm not talking about the old lady. I'm not talking about Madeline. I'm talking about Stacy. Stacy's mom got it going on, but Stacy dumb as hell. And Stacy just said, screw her parents getting back together at the end. She went from, oh, I'm so excited, y'all might get back together, to like, fuck daddy. We gonna save the old ghost that doesn't seem to believe in the afterlife. Like, what you mean you ain't got no place to go? Heaven, hell, purgatory, somewhere. Go somewhere.
Go somewhere. Time to go.
I'd have got some sage. She'd have been gone. I'd have put some holy water in a spray bottle and
But then again, I don't have to cook or clean. And I don't have to pay them.
that's true, because she was working that vacuum cleaner pretty well. But then
I'm
you gonna have to move the furniture for her.
It's okay. It's all right. That's okay. I don't mind doing just a menial task. Is she cooking for me? Or I just direct her how to cook?
Yeah, because I'm like, we black. We like seasoning and clean meat. But why was this black child like the nose? First of all, she was extremely entitled in the beginning. Then she came through with the nosiness. And I know we talked about it a little bit last night. That this wasn't her first time just slipping out at night to go follow a sound, because the mother was like, I asked you not to do this. And I'm like, wait, was these characters supposed to be white? Like, I'm all for representation, but baby, this ain't, don't give little black kids the wrong idea.
Right. No, this episode just shows that they didn't have any black writers when they when
That
when
is
they
true.
write for black people. They don't have any black writers in there.
And one of my biggest questions is that apartment manager, who was a stickler, was in everybody's business, obviously watched everything that everybody did. Madeline said she died 10 years ago to the day. How come he doesn't remember her? He never said the last time somebody lived in there was 10 years ago. He had no idea. He just, nobody's in there. Like,
Well, he may not have been the first manager when she had passed or had owned it.
Right.
So that could have been a factor.
good point.
The owner probably could have sold it because of Madeline.
Well, that and Stacy and her mom moved in without knowing who the manager was. And I have had that happen where the leasing agent and the manager were two different people.
Right.
which rocked me to the core the first time that happened to me because I was used to them for so long being the same person. And I went into the office like, oh yeah, I need your. Oh, she's like, oh, I don't handle that. That's him over there. Who is him? I was also like 23. I didn't know. Okay.
Like, who?
And he was built
Yeah.
like if you bought Lou Ferrigno off of Wish.com. So I really didn't want to. I didn't. I no longer wanted things fixed. Like I'm good. Any
Yeah,
other thoughts or feelings on
I
this
just
one?
continuously hate how they represent black people in this show. Like every episode, it just keeps getting worse. Like we don't do the shit that y'all do unless you're born into that kind of, I guess,
No,
atmosphere.
that's not even.
And
That's not
still-
even an excuse.
D-Mac. We have witnessed real life examples of people raised since virtually birth in the Alabaster Kingdom, and they do Alabaster stuff. So we can't say no.
Right.
I'll give you
Down
this.
to the not wanting to bathe. Like we can't say no.
I'll give you this, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this with my whole fucking chest. I have lived in a predominantly white neighborhood most of my life, and I still didn't act like this.
No. I'm not talking about the neighborhoods, because so have
Yeah.
I. I said in the Alabaster Kingdom, behind the doors, in the Get Out scenario. And you and I have watched this take place online because we've discussed it. Like, they're dead serious. Like, they really believe this. So there are those out there. Monty's right.
I'm
There's
just
there's
saying
a
this
small
excuse.
monochrome
Oh,
that
my
do
cousin.
that.
Yeah, my cousin, he's dead ass like that. Like he does that type of stuff. He's I was about to call him a half breed. That's so disrespectful.
Ooh,
Yes, don't do that.
shame.
So,
The
but-
Monty's trying to get us all canceled.
right? But he's half and half. He's half black, half white, and
He's biracial. He's
Biracial.
biracial.
he's half. He's
Lord.
yeah. But yeah, he does that type of stuff. Like he's all for it. Like, and don't get me wrong, I'm for some of the adventure, but going to the cemeteries, sneaking into people's houses at night, that stuff, can't do it. Never, not never.
Monty, your cousin is a criminal.
Oh,
That's criminal. That's GTA.
No,
That has GTA
I'm using-
written all over
I'm
it.
using the show as the example. It's not.
Oh yeah.
I don't know
was
what
breaking
he's-
in the.
I don't
was
know what
breaking in
he
the
does,
houses.
but I'm pretty sure
Okay.
it's half of it.
Here's why I say what I said, and again, I'm saying this with my whole chest. I have had that situation in a church, and they still did not act like that. Like they're like adopted in everything, behind the veil, like behind the veil.
It is a monochrome of them, but they exist because we're just like, how did like the ancestors didn't come whisper to you one night?
Because
Hey, don't do that.
because with this person, I was looking at them and I'm like, those are your parents? And they were like, yeah. I was like, are you sure? Because you would expect the uppityness, but that's not what I got. This is what I paid for. That's not what I received. So I was just like,
You
I
see,
was
pastels. This is what I wanted. This is what I got.
I was just like, I was expecting the uppity. That's what I was. I was like, watch this bougie person come up in here and try and be cute.
I mean, I'm bougie as hell, but I still wash my ass, and I'm not about to go chasing after sounds in the middle of the night.
So I was just like, because when they came into the youth group, girl, and I was just like, oh god, here we go. Like we was like, we was all secretly judging, be like, You know,
Yeah,
every black person in that youth group rolled their eyes, be like, ugh.
yeah, I'm
We
black,
gotta,
bougie, and bad, but I'm still
we got,
not
we got,
doing.
we got,
I'm still not
we
doing
got,
East Yeti shit.
and we was like, because you know, we all say we was like, oh, we got another bougie bitch coming up in this piece. Let's vibe check and see what happens. And then when we
But
said
there's
that,
legitimate black folks out here believing that they don't need to shower their whole body. There are black folks out here that believe they don't need to wash their meats. There are black folks out here that actually, depending on, there are a lot of, and I found this out before I was no longer allowed on TikTok because TikTok said "fuck you, no more." That there are people who the only time that they're black is on TikTok. Uh, and there are people who act just like her. They hear a sound and they want to, what is it? Like the mother kept trying to get this child to be black. Like, And another thing that stuck out, and the reason why I included it in the clip is the fact that she was late coming home from school because the bus broke down. But she didn't go home. She went to Madeline's apartment. I don't know a black parent on the planet that sees you knowing you've come through the security door or the entrance door and you ain't made it into the apartment by a certain time and you done sat over there for hours. Baby, you'd have had a penny moment. You would have been taught how to iron.
but here's the breakdown of that. And see, don't get me wrong, I love Kiki's stories. Out of all of them, she's the only one who actually honestly includes people of color in her stories and makes them the protagonist for the most part. I'm not
Yeah, but I
saying
need to
that
see how
always
she
happens.
living. But I need to see how she living. She need to have a birthday party or something at her house. I need to see her parents at this
You know
point.
that's not gonna happen because this is the Midnight Society. They only be out in the woods, so no. But
I'm gonna start writing some letters. Y'all need to come on the show and tell us y'all backstories.
but I think there's an upcoming story where we meet a certain someone who was in a certain TV show at that time who was very famous for said TV show. That's
I mean, we met
that's
another
a
person that was famous for being all over TV, and then they still had him acting very,
again. I can't speak for that person, but anyway.
very, very sunshine deprived. Hey, Angel. Alrighty, ready for the next recap?
Let's go.
Because we done tore this one to pieces. Let's go. And this one is The Tale of the Phone Police.
Tale of the phone police. You're gonna get tagged by the phone police, you zero. Phone police? The phone has certain rules of operation. You don't leave it off the hook, you don't let it ring too long, and you don't make stupid calls like my blunt little brother.
She's making this up.
You think so, eh? Well, keep messing with the phone and you'll end up like the Baxter kid. Who's Billy Baxter? Happened a long time ago. He was making prank calls, and the phone police got him.
Oh, give me a...
She just poured that glass of juice.
And
Of course.
Billy Baxter? Hello?
Let's summon the depths of hell. Come on.
Who is the phone in there?
I know you can hear me. You gotta help me, please.
Who are you? What do you want?
You know who I am? You call me.
Why are you still having a conversation with him? Go get your sister. And how come she didn't hear all this phone ringing?
Don't maybe he got a separate line. The shade.
That guy last night, did he sound like this?
Help! You gotta get me out. Help me out of here.
Find out where this number comes from.
There's only 6 numbers, and we thought it was foreign or something.
It's not foreign. It's old and discontinued.
We just called it and got somebody.
You called this number and got an answer. The records department is in the basement. They'll take care of you.
4229.
Come on back. Using the phone to tell a couple of jokes, eh?
What?
O'Brien, phone police.
Here, what is this?
Figured it out? I know, because you're a real smart kid. You got here quicker than anyone ever has.
No one can hear you, I know. I've tried.
Who is this?
Have you forgotten already? It's Billy Baxter.
Oh man, what is this place? Why am I here?
You never should have messed with the phone. Now,
Annie, they got Jake. Just like you said, it's the phone police. We went down to the phone company. Who are you and how do you know my name? You told us a story about the phone police and a kid named Billy Baxter. You know the story?
Yeah, I know it. Except the way I heard it, they got a kid named O'Brien. A Jake O'Brien.
Oh man, those guys work fast.
I didn't do anything wrong. You gotta help me.
Oh, the entitlement. Yeah, you didn't do anything
Get
wrong.
Annie, get my parents.
You just opened up the gates of hell.
Why not? You gotta do something. Or
Nah,
I'll be
bruh.
stuck in here
You don't
forever.
exist anymore.
Listen, this whole thing is weirder than you even know.
I'm scared, Chris.
I bet you are.
Me too. But I got a plan.
Wait. I'm frightened, Annie M. I'm frightened.
I cannot. I can't. I just can't.
Annie M. I'm frightened.
Get it, kid!
Yes!
The Amazing Spider-Man.
Boy.
Okay.
And they keep entering all this water, all this rain, and never get wet. That's a magical hairspray.
Run, Forrest, run!
This is Jake, Annie, your brother. You gotta remember him now. Where do you get these friends from, Jake? Do you order them from the back of comics?
Annie, don't! It's the phone police.
Phone police? Airhead, I made that up. But
House pizza. One jumbo extra cheese, all dressed, hold the anchovies.
I know we did some wild stuff back in the day, but my grandparents, nobody in my family is letting a pizza man into the house to deliver a pizza.
No.
Never. You wait outside with like the rest of the help.
He came in like it was no big deal. But my thing is, we know there was obviously no pizza in there. So what if they would have been like, yeah, what if the sister would have been like, yeah, I ordered one like 20 minutes ago. That was fast.
Right.
And they just gave up that quickly. You done chased them all through the streets. You done erased them from places. You magically put the names of these kids in phone books that were already distributed.
And printed. And I'm just saying, that was cool.
But you just give up because they didn't want the pizza? Because you saw that they were terrified? Baby, they was terrified when you had them. And they just left Billy Baxter, who's probably, he sound like a grown man now. He sound like he's middle-aged. And he probably got a rat telenovela going on in phone police prison there. And then the other kid that came in after little Jake, that's not from State Farm. They said, fuck them kids. Like, bye. And how you the bad one, but you don't never have an escape plan? You fall apart at any inconvenience, and your goody two-shoes friends has to be Johnny on the spot to save you. And what kind of miracle hairspray do they have that they just keep, I saw you and him walking in the rain, but ain't nobody wet?
I'm just saying this. Here's my issue with this. I'm just like, if you knew what if you knew that you shouldn't be messing with the phone at all, because we knew that. Like, that was a privilege. if you got to use the phone. A privilege.
Yep.
So the very fact that you were sitting here, it looks like he had his own line and everything. Now that would never happen in a black household unless you had some money, or your parent, or your
line.
well, again, your parents loved you and they wanted to make sure that you were protected and safe. But
No, my mama talked on the phone just as much as where you think I get this mouth from. She wanted to free up her phone for her. But I will tell you one thing: let my phone ring, because during the week I wasn't allowed to be on the phone past 10 o'clock. Let that ringer go off, even at 10 o'clock and 32 seconds. Fred or Diane was coming up them stairs. I'm taking the phone. You broke the rule. Now, did I make phone calls after that? And did I have people call me? Yes. I found a very ingenious way to do it. But yeah, let that phone ring. Yeah, no.
I'm just like, why is it that we, and I'm just like, and I know I said it during the recap while the recap was playing, and I was just like, you literally sat there on who was big at the time in the 90s?
Michael Jackson. It would have been Michael Jackson's telephone. No, actually, it would have been New Edition's telephone, because they had the telephone man. And there was definitely something wrong with his line.
Wait.
But he wasn't dialing his baby's number, and he surely wasn't getting a click every time.
This was 1994. Wasn't Boyz II Men out too?
Yeah.
So he had two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So not here on Boyz II Men and New Edition's telephone are you sitting out here playing games and you ain't ready for the consequences of these games.
Oh, and now that you say it, we had caller ID back then. It just wasn't attached to the phone. You had a separate caller ID box. Unless you had, oh my God, I'm about to sound really bougie, but we know that I'm the resident bad and bougie black chick. Okay, that's why I'm black and magical. But if you had the AT&T combo phone with the answer machine on it, it came up, your caller ID was attached. It was like one of the few first phones that came out like that. But we did have caller ID at the time. It was just a separate box that came from your little telephone company that you plugged into the phone. Now you could have one for the whole house or one for each line, or if you want to pay, I think it was like $4 to $5 per box. You could put it on every phone in the house. If you were like my parents that didn't like talking to people that they didn't know, we had it on every phone in the house. If they didn't recognize your name and that number, you was going to voicemail.
But I'm just like, you sat there and you weren't ready for the consequences. Then you wanted to cry about it. You're like, get my mom, get my sister.
I didn't do anything. Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
And you were the worst of it all. Like the one woman that he pranked, like I'm calling from the radio station. I'm like, this heifer didn't know she was talking to a child because he had no base. He was nowhere near puberty. He wasn't even around the corner or 2 blocks away from puberty, okay? He was 3 cities and 45 counties away from puberty, okay? He could probably hit that note in Can We Talk, okay? And that woman knew. Okay, that woman knew that there were 2 children when she buzzed down there to ancient Alfred from the dark side. But they only took 1 child. All he did was bend over and I don't understand how he took 1 paper that he had in his hand, somehow managed to put it in his backpack and the creaky blanket in the back elevator. Like, that's a serial killer elevator. I'm sorry. If I see a blanket hanging in the elevator, I'm not getting in it. Okay, I'm leaving the building. I'm not even taking the steps. A serial killer has bought this building and people are going missing. So how did he knock his stuff out of his backpack? They don't hear him knock it over. And even when he yells out to his friend, nobody comes after him.
It's bad writing.
This goes to show white people are magical. Privilege gives you a lot of passes. Like, a lot of passes. And I think the biggest white privilege is they just keep snatching these motherfuckers. Like they've been snatching them for decades. Like they don't care. And the parents don't like it was those kids left to go to school. Obviously never made it to school. Came back after dark. The sister who's in charge while the parents are on vacation was not concerned about them at all. She just sees them running in like, oh, well, what's wrong with y'all? Oh, what?
It's but here's the thing that got me. He said, "You made it here faster than anyone else." That means these kids are literally turning themselves in to the phone police.
Yeah, because
and getting themselves kidnapped. They don't even have to really leave the building. They're bringing them to them. They're like, oh, come on. And I'm like, and they just keep falling for it. They hear the stories and they're still like, oh, it won't happen to me.
Here's the thing. I think everybody has heard a story growing up where you truly believe it's 100% myth, 100% urban legend. And then you get older and you're like, wait a minute. This really happened. This is true. And nobody exaggerated anything. Where you were smart enough just to listen to the story. Maybe be afraid of the story for a couple years, whatever. But there are other kids that are trying to be fact finders. Now, we all know I am a fact finder myself, but there's limits to it. I'm not calling no numbers. I'm not going to no coordinates. And I even see grown people doing that, where somebody will just put coordinates on the back of a card and they go out and do it. No. I'm not just popping up to an address because just like in this week's book club, I was talking about a particular riot. And one particular business that sustained a lot of damage, I had the exact address to. Even though I will read the archives and read the newspaper articles, I'm not about to hop on a plane and go to this address. I don't know what's there now.
Right.
But you have these kids that are like, I'm going to prove you wrong. You lying. Let me go. Oh, this is a joke. They just put this in here to mess with me. As if the person who told you this story has the ability to manipulate a highly circulated book. And then you're like, well, it doesn't have enough numbers. It can't be. If the math is not mathing, get off the road. I need these Richards and Karens to get off the road. If
They're not
the
going
GPS keeps rerouting on you, baby, go home. That trip ain't for you. But white people always got to touch stuff. Always.
It's that right privilege.
They don't
y'all
care.
gotta stop touching stuff. Like, y'all, look, it wasn't working too good for y'all when y'all was just touching each other. That's why you decided to stop touching each other. You want to come out and touch the rest of us because y'all didn't like the way each other felt. Let's tell the truth and shame the devil. But that didn't work out for y'all because you don't know how to ask for consent. You're just like, ooh, I like it. Let me steal you. No, put me back on the shelf, bitch. Stop touching me.
I was just like, with this particular episode, I was just like, I'm over this. I'm over it.
Yeah, because normally we've been trying to do 3 episodes, but we were all so drained after those 2. I think there was a minute we all just stared in the camera at each other like, what? And I think Geeky knew. That these 2 episodes was going to be some BS. And I think that's why Geeky was like, I'll catch y'all next week.
Right.
Yeah, so I think we've exhausted this topic with what we've talked about because I ain't got nothing left.
Nothing.
With these two episodes were just trash. Straight and utter garbage. And I have nothing else to say to them. But I will release the titles of next week so that we can all know what they are.
Oh, and please note,
go ahead.
If you, because I know they're available on Paramount Plus purposely has these out of order. So please pay attention to the title if you can't make it to the viewing party or if you're a very shy person and like, I don't want to go. But keep in mind, you don't have to turn your camera on with us. You don't have to even turn your, mic on with us. You can just come in and chill. We are a hoot. If you think we are funny on the show, baby, when the sandwiches and popcorn is rolling and the show is rolling, I will put together a compilation, but I'm pretty sure we'll get all sorts of community guidelines violations.
Yeah. Yeah. So the tales for next week. Again, I'm going by this because this has the correct order. Thank God I bought these first before I bought the Blu-ray one, which I have, to make up for the fact that I broke my own thing, apparently. But we're not going to discuss that. The first one for tomorrow. I wish it was Saturday.
Child.
I wish it was Saturday.
Did you got a fast forward button?
I wish it was Saturday, girl. I wish it was.
I wish I was taller. I wish I was.
So the first one for next week is The Tale of the Doll Maker.
Oh, I remember that one.
Monty.
Playing with dolls. Don't play with dolls.
Monty, look
if there's a black person in it, I'm leaving the room until it's over because black people don't play with dolls, and I'm not gonna. Wait
a minute! Didn't you call my action figures dolls?
No.
So I will come to Monty.
You know what? We're not going to discuss.
No, I'm saying if there is a doll that's haunted, we're not going near it. And if there's a black person in it,
it's not okay. I'll shush.
Monty,
do I need to make us look like we're fucking white, and I can't stand it.
Monty, how about I cook Saturday? You can come over here. I will hold it your hand and show you that we're not playing with haunted dolls, and you'll be all right.
No, I'm telling you, if there's one black person in there that's playing with the doll that's haunted.
Are you listening?
I'm going to find the writers, and I'm going to whatever happens. Like.
Are you listening to me?
No. Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay. There is no black people in this entire episode, okay?
All right. I can do it then.
You good?
I'm not putting up with it. I put up with this bullshit with the little black girl going into a haunted house. I'm not putting up with the shit playing with dolls. Like Annabelle can keep her ass somewhere else. I'm not putting up with it.
First of all, black people don't like this earth that much that we just gonna come back and shield on people. But what's the next one after that, D-Mac?
The next one, I love this episode. This is one of my favorites. It's The Tale of the Bookish Babysitter.
Oh, yes. Now we're getting into my area.
Now that one was one of my favorites. I love that one.
That I am with you on that one. I am actually excited for that one, and I'm excited to see everybody's reaction to it. Oh yes. Are we just gonna do 2 or are we gonna do 3?
I mean, if we're gonna do 3, the last
I thought there was 3 on that. Only 3 left on the disc.
Yeah, there is. The Tale of the Carved Stone. No black people.
I vaguely remember this one. So I'm not going to speak on it because when I say vaguely, it's very, very vaguely. I think it's probably one of those episodes I watched when my younger brothers were driving me crazy. And we didn't have DVR back then, at least not at my house. So yeah. And don't forget, you guys, this Friday, Freeform Friday, will not be on this channel. I'm going to put up a link tomorrow so that we can get together and watch the Janet Jackson docu-series on Lifetime on Friday. So that's what we'll be doing. We will not be here. Don't come here and then blow up my inboxes and my DMs. Want to ask where you at? I'm over here. Where you at? Y'all know I ain't got no sense.
But yeah, no, that's gonna be for Saturday, and I'm hopeful. What does that say?
Hey,
bots. It's bots, but we'll take.
Oh, okay, whatever. But I looking back on these episodes. I mean, we're on season 3. And looking back on these episodes, I'm like, Lord, how did we survive?
Ooh, baby. I wonder that all the time.
Because some of these episodes, I'm looking at them, I'm like, yo, some of these were a bit traumatic. Like the clown episodes, for me, I think that's where my irrational fear of clowns has come from. I
think that's where my oldest son's fear comes from. That and a combination of the Universal Circus.
Like,
because Universal Circus, I'm sorry, I love y'all. I love that y'all black ran and owned, but y'all are to the circus what women are to male strippers. Y'all want to come up and be in people's faces and touch people and don't act, and you traumatize my child. He was cool when we would just go to Ringling Brothers and the clowns stayed away from the crowd. But now Universal want to be different and be all up in the stands touching kids. Hey, you want to come with? No. They mama has the book It on the bookshelf. Don't touch them. Okay?
Yeah.
We have questionable conversations. Don't, when I look at you and go bypass these kids, these ain't regular kids. You should have listened. You should have listened.
I'm just like, Like, I cannot stand clowns now. It's just like, no.
And then you remember we had clowns running around trying to fight people and snatch people and stuff a couple years ago.
Oh, what a time to be alive.
Monty,
I'm
gonna come fight you. I would say I would walk to your house tonight, but it's a little cold. And we know I don't really drive at night, but I will quickly Uber my ass down the street to you. And before anybody judges me, yes, I will Uber down the street. It's cold where I am right now. Cold.
It is very cold.
I left this morning. The wind was blowing so hard when I left the place that I was coming back home from that it was pushing me to walk faster than I wanted to walk. And it was cold. And I got a coat that comes all the way up to my neck, and I put a scarf on, and I could still feel Jack Frost trying to give me a hickey. No.
I've done that walk before. It's a lot further than you think, because I went to Subway, and I was like...
The Subway by me?
Yeah. I was like, man, this is kind of a little journey. Like, in the car, it's like 2 minutes, but the walk was... I think it's because it's all... You gotta either walk through people's yards or you gotta go up, right? Yeah, you gotta do all that.
You need to learn how to cut through some stuff.
Too many white folks' yards. I'm not.
Okay, you know what? I keep forgetting that you have actual neighbors.
Yeah.
And once I get past my street, I don't have actual neighbors. I have like walking trails and businesses and stuff like that.
Yeah. Once I get to that main road right there, I'm good.
Yeah, but my cut through is cutting through a parking lot. Like, I'm good.
It's I'm not trying to end up on a t-shirt.
Yeah. All right, guys. So, what are our final thoughts for these 2 episodes, Bonnie?
My final thoughts is stop letting white people write for black people.
Taz.
White people should never be left unsupervised.
Fact. All day fact.
All need babies.
I mean, I'm not going to babysit them, but I'm sure somebody will volunteer for tribute. But every time they are left unsupervised, look at what we are in. How many times on New Year's Eve do we have to keep shouting Jumanji, and we are still stuck in this bullshit? Because somebody touched something that they wasn't supposed to. They dug up something they wasn't supposed to. They opened something they wasn't supposed to because they were left without a babysitter.
What did Cat Williams say? White people, get you a black friend.
It ain't gonna be me.
Even then, it don't work.
A black friend who knows better.
No, it ain't gonna be me because you want to. Oh, Monty, I didn't tell you. You want to know what took place while we were in the viewing party yesterday? Since I was distracted, see, I was off my job. I've been given one white person to babysit, okay? And I took a little break from my job, okay? This motherfucker went and bought a brand new Xbox.
You know,
Oh, yeah, I
you
seen
need to
that
tell him
post.
I need a new PS5. You need to tell him that.
So
And
let's
stop
not
playing with me.
forget, last year for my birthday, I got the PS5, the MacBook that I'm using right now. Remember, that was my birthday gift. And we were sitting here, came back from my little appointment, and he goes, "Do you think I'm sneaky? Given that you asked me that question, yes, I believe you're sneaky."
Yes, absolutely.
He said, "Do you think that I could get something past you?" I said, "I will never be like my dad was when I was growing up. When my dad swore he knew everything. And me and my brothers just kept pushing the envelope, like nothing dangerous or anything, because we knew he didn't. Like, I had helped my mom get so much stuff in the house, and we really didn't even sneak it in. So I was like, okay, what did you do?" And I thought maybe it was another sound bar. You know, maybe it was like some snacks he hid upstairs. Or, you know, like when he ate my Oreo chocolate pudding. I thought it was like another situation like that. He came down here and was like, "Can you set this up for me?" This is a whole Xbox S series. I said, that's beyond the budget that we can just do on our own. Like, this is supposed to be a conversation. I said, "Bet, I got you." So that leather and fur biker jacket that I had been eyeballing, that new iMac mouse that I needed.
Ooh, nice. So my final thoughts on these 2 episodes. I'm getting real sick and tired of people not having their hair done right. I'm getting tired of it. I'm getting real sick and tired. I'm getting real sick and tired of black people on this episode not having the right makeup, not having the right hair, not having the right clothes, looking like grandma or grandpa off of the Golden Girls. No offense
Or
to
dressed
Golden
like the
Girls.
librarian from Little House on the Prairie. Because why they had that poor child dressed like a set of teacups, like she was an extra on Beauty and the Beast, and have her mama dressed like somebody great grandmama from the 60s. Lord, no, because in 94, that's not,
We were not dressing like that. But see, I blame Canada because that's where this was filmed.
The only thing they get right is the cost of medication and syrup.
Yo, they bogarting the syrup, girl. They ain't even exporting it right now.
I know. And I got a brother who said he wants to move to Canada. So I was like, look.
If you got the hookup, get the hookup, baby.
Like, can I just come visit once a month? He was like, "I don't feel like you're coming to see me." And we both know we don't want to see each other, motherfucker. Can you just say that I'm staying at your residence so I can come get what I need to get?
But yeah, no, that's my final thoughts for that. I could care less about the 2 white children.
Right.
Yeah,
They was going to do whatever they was going to do anyway.
Well, as always, each one teach one, each one reach one. Thank you all for tuning in with us. But hold on for just a second, because we have something brand new. I told y'all in 2022, not only would formats be changing, but we will be adding a little razzle dazzle, a little pizzazz, if you will. So here we go. I'm so goofy. But good night, y'all. Till Tuesday.